All right, everybody, welcome back to the 81 Reasons Pod. Myself, Marcus Foster here. I got my co-host with me, Zach Edwards, aka Swaggy V. And also we got a special guest here, Korbin Spencer. He is a senior at UC now, is a thrower at UC. I had the honor of knowing him at a younger age in high school, was able to coach him at Northwestern in Springfield. So I'm appreciative for you even step on this platform, bro. Break down your story, tell us about who you are, give insight on all the things that you've endured, and just what things are looking like now. So Corbin Spencer is here, folks. If you guys haven't just yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify if you're audio only listeners. Give us a like, a comment, share your thoughts, share it to your page if you can. We're still trying to build things up. We did just recently post James Turner's story. Was an awesome breakdown of who he is, and as we get into things, we'll start to bring on more guests and kind of paint the picture of what college life's like before, during, after, the hardships, mentally, what things people endure, not only athletes, but just people in general. So with that, Corbin Spencer, man, I'm gonna have you kind of break down who you are, what you've been doing, what you've been up to. So go ahead, it's your floor, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me on for real.
Thanks for
Our
joining.
podcasts are real fun. Yeah, I'm Corbin Spencer. I'm originally from Springfield, Ohio. Um, that's like 20 minutes from Troy, Ohio, where Coach Foster's from. I call him Coach Foster, but his name Marcus Foster. Um, yeah, he was a good football coach. Yeah, I met him when I was in high school, my junior year. He actually came into my life at a pretty good time. I mean, that was the first year my high school ever went to the football state playoffs ever. We didn't go too far, but we made it. That's all that matters. But yeah, I'm from Springfield. I grew up when I was younger, a pretty normal little kid life. I mean, I had I had one loving mom who tried to work hard and get us everything that we needed. She always battled with some addiction issues. Like when I was growing up, I mean, I remember being in AA meetings, which is Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, from the time I was 5 years old all the way until I can remember, like 15 probably. Um, so yeah, that it got pretty bad. Like in high school, my dad he was never really around. He always had a different girl, or he had kids he had to worry about in other spots, and he ended up moving to Florida. Uh, so like I was playing basketball one day, had a career high 22 points. After the game, I just was like pulled aside and said, "Hey, your mom got arrested." I was like, "What? Like what the hell?" Like I was so out of the blue. I knew she struggled with some stuff like that, but I didn't really know. I had no idea what was going on, so it was kind of a shock. So after that, my life changed forever. I spent a couple months probably, living with Tony and Lisa Esposito and my good friend Jalen. He was on my basketball and football team. I stayed with them for probably, I would say, anywhere from 4 to 6 months, before Matt and Jen Berner, the Berner family, said that they would take guardianship of me and take me in as their own. So that's kind of like how it all started. I would say that where I'm at today, definitely is a product of what happened to me when I was younger. I learned how to work hard at a young age. I played three sports. I mean, I worked all the time on trying to get better at all my sports. You know, Coach Foster knows I tried hard on the football field, but I tried harder on the track. I played hard basketball. While I love sports, that was kind of my escape of things. And I was blessed enough to be able to pretty much go to college for free, at the University of Cincinnati to throw and track and
Go
field.
Bearcats.
Um, Go Bearcats, baby.
Yes, sir.
Cats by 90. But yeah, that's kind of how I grew up. That's where I'm at now. Things are only getting better. They've gotten better every single year. UC's growing. I'm growing. We're all growing. So we're doing good.
What's up?
Good, bro. I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot to take in, especially at a young age. Kind of experiencing what you did, but everything that you've overcome to where you are now. I'm glad to see you're in a better place.
I
Especially
appreciate that.
yeah, especially with the situation being, I was able to, like you said, coach you at a young age. I could see I could see a Division I athlete looking at you in high school. So I'm glad to see that vision come true. To see you,
Yeah,
even too, being a fellow Bearcat, bro. I mean, it's surreal, kind of, to see everything take place, and then to see where you are now. From, I mean, what, you're 21 now, from what, 5 or so years ago, roughly, kind
yeah,
of, to where you are now, bro. It's a lot of levels, and you've definitely leveled up. Um,
yeah. It's
especially,
definitely it definitely ain't been easy though. That's for sure.
oh,
Yeah, no, it was high school was a real rough time for me mentally. I just never talked about it. I never told anybody about it. I never went and got any help or nothing. I kind of just used it as fuel, and like I would go hit somebody on the football field. That would be my therapy, or I would go run as fast as I can to try to block a shot or something. That would be my therapy. So I don't know. I felt like keeping myself busy and keeping myself active would keep me out of trouble. Not be like my parents or any of that stuff. Not getting any of that crap, or and just keep my head on straight. So I wouldn't. So I would be where I'm at today.
I quick question. Did you have any siblings on your like mom's side? Of, like, was there somebody other than you?
Yeah. Yeah. So on my mom's side, I have two sisters. I have a younger sister and an older sister. Um, we all got separate dads. My older sister, she has four kids now. She's probably almost 30 years old, so she's quite a bit older than me. And then my younger sister, she's going to be a sophomore at Bowling Green, and she's the one that kind of lived with me, saw all that stuff happen. I, it was very sad and painful when I had to like leave my sister. I mean, we were very close. I mean, it was just me, my sister, and my mom pretty much my whole life. So growing up, so I mean, that was like one of the biggest shocks for me, not being able to like be with my sister and take care of her. Because there was times where it was like towards the end before my mom got arrested, where it was I was pretty much taking care of her. I was getting her up for school, making sure she was getting on the bus, stuff like that. So definitely, that was a definite shock when all that happened. She ended up going to live with my grandma for a little bit, and that didn't end up working out. So one of her friends, she ended up staying with until she went to college. So she was very blessed to have that person. I was very lucky to have the people that I have, and I'm just glad that she made it to college, and I hope that she does the best that she can. Honestly, she just needs to not repeat the last generation. She just needs to know that like she can go do whatever she wants to do. She don't have to be like everyone else.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
With that, would you say? I know you just spoke on how you had a rough time and high school was a rough time for you mentally, and you never really expressed it. Would you say that was because one, you probably didn't have anybody to express it to, and then like also you said you're basically taking care of your little sister. I mean, I just thinking about if it was me, that'd be hard to show if I'm taking care and trying to be the best version of me for my younger sibling. So, like, would you say it's because of who you had to be for your sister, or just there was no outlet for you?
No, I wouldn't say it was who I had to be for my sister. I just thought, man, I only get like one chance. I'm a 15-year-old kid. I don't know anything about life. Like I'm just trying to get the basketball practice, like go to school, like do my homework, make sure all that stuff is happening. I would say I didn't really have anybody to express it to. Definitely when that stuff was going on. I mean, everyone like my grandma knew what was going on. My older sister knew what was going on. Everyone around knew what was going on, but they didn't really want to interfere. Um, so yeah, and I would say none of my friends like at school, like none of them really understood what I was going through. I mean, Coach Foster knows my school's a pretty wealthy school. So I mean, it's hard to tell your friends that you're basically homeless on paper. Uh,
Right.
so it's hard to talk about that stuff. There's times like when I almost got had to leave the school district because I didn't have a permanent address, stuff like that. So like yeah, there's I mean I talked to my guidance counselor and they got some special counselor that came in to see me once a week for the last couple years of high school. And I'd say that helped a little bit. I just always thought I was too tough for a counselor back in high school. I mean I don't want to say it like that, but I thought I was the man back then.
Right.
I thought like nothing could break me, not even like little mental problems. Like that's nothing. Like so I would say there wasn't anybody there really to express that to and like to relate to. Um, but I mean, I definitely shared it a couple times, like with counselors and stuff like that. I don't think any of that helped though, because I wasn't letting it work.
yeah. No, that's the big one where you hit on like relating. That's where
Yeah,
a lot of people, they feel more comfortable when they can like relate to someone who's been in that situation and understands kind of what they're going through. With yours, it's an anomaly. I mean, not you don't
yeah,
know anybody in that district, let alone no kid should be going through something like that.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I mean, to see, like I said, where things are and even hearing what it is that you've went through, bro. I mean,
yeah.
much
I
power to
mean,
you,
yeah,
bro.
it definitely wasn't. It definitely was weird. I mean, because my coaches knew what was going on. All the other parents knew what was going on. The AD knew what was going on. They were trying to help. They would help from a distance. I mean, I don't really recall anybody coming up to me when they knew all that stuff was going on and asking me like how I was or nothing like that. So I feel like people just don't know when to step in, when to ask like, "Are you okay?" or like, "Do you need help?" But like the Burners definitely, they definitely came in at the right time and kind of helped me put a good head on myself.
That's a blessing. God puts
Yeah,
people in places where they need it most, and it sounds like with the Burner family. I know them personally as well. Great family. I mean, I'm glad
yeah.
that they lended a helping hand and still are parental figures to this day. Still give you guidance and still are there for you when you need
Yeah.
it.
No, I still when I go home, I go to their house. When I go to Christmas, it's at their house. If I have some random question, I call Jennifer Berner. If I have a question that she can't answer, I call Matt. So, um, and they told me multiple times they love me like I'm their kid. I've told them multiple times I love them like they're my parents because, I mean, like you said, in a time where I was really dark and really down, I mean, they were there. So
Yeah.
that's definitely family for sure.
Definitely a blessing.
I mean, with the
Yeah.
guidance counselor in high school, I know you were kind of reluctant, resistant to it. I mean, is that
Yeah.
something now that you've kind of grown a little bit as you get older, something you're still open to like kind of unfolding the childhood trauma and the things you've experienced? Is that something you're open to therapist wise, counselor wise, having a voice of reason?
I would love to sit here and tell you yes, that I'm completely open to counseling and I go all the time, but for me, it's like I want to, and I know that I should. I haven't done it consistently. Like I've been in my sports therapist's office. I've talked to her. I've talked to people about it. It's just like I got to get over that. I think every athlete, kind of, they've always been like kind of the shit. And I'm too
Yeah.
proud. Like I just think I'm too prideful a little bit. Like
Prideful. Yeah.
I'm full of pride. And it just to sit there and just share my problems and sound weak in front of someone just it's still something that I find hard to do. And I know that it's good for you, and it really is good for you. Like I've learned a lot talking to people about stuff because I mean you never know what someone's been through. So um, just because you think she's a counselor, I mean she might have had worse growing up, or she might have been through a lot of worse things than you. And that's how everyone is. I mean you never know the person sitting next to you could have it way worse than you, could have it way better than you. I mean, I learned that talking about it. I don't really get ashamed anymore. I kind of use it as like fuel, and people know that I don't kind of let it affect you. Like, cause like for real, when I tell people like if I say I meet a girl or meet a new friend and I tell them like about my past, they're always like, wow, I could never see that out of you. Like you're such a positive person. You're always on top of things. Like you're never down. Like, and I think that's just something I had to like build over time. Because like if you would have left me alone, like back then, like when I was 15, 16, I probably would have been listening to some feels music, just not talking to nobody in my head. But now I'm that outgoing person who likes to talk to people. So I'm open to counseling. I don't do it consistently though.
No, I mean, that's at least, what I'm saying. It seems like mentally, like you have a lot of clarity. You're able to kind of reason out your thoughts,
Yeah,
understand who you are, especially in the sports setting. And then also, like, not to say when sports is all said and done, are you still that tough guy? Like,
yeah,
what type of, I don't know, I mean, platform, what type of avenue makes you that tough guy like you were in sports? Is there something like that you can still, like, not to say use it as a coping mechanism, but like as sports, you're doing it. I mean, you got 365 days in a year. You're doing it almost every day, whether it's working out or having to go to class to make sure you got the grades, to study tables, to meetings, to practice. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. And I mean, it sounds like with your stage where you're at, a senior now at UC 21, and everything that you've encountered, I mean, you're the needle is moving a bit, which is good. More than what it was in high school. And as you continue to
Yeah.
kind of get it, I don't know, grow older, get a little bit better at things, it'll definitely be something that I can see that
Yeah.
helps not only you but your future you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I think
wish I
that's
knew like what my thing was going to be like after college, but like it ain't hit me yet really. Like I feel like every athlete who's graduated told me that it's going to hit you like the last day or the next day. You ain't an athlete no more. What's the next step? Uh, so for me, it's hopefully I find like a job that I enjoy, a job where I can talk to people because I love talking to people. I like to be social. I like to meet new people. So hopefully something like that can kind of help me like fill that gap.
yeah. I mean, because honestly, once you are done, and I'm just speaking from experience, it does hit you, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
where do I find
that's
myself
what I've
now?
heard. Yeah.
Yeah, where do I find myself now? And then, I mean, but I think the good thing for you is that once you are done, I mean, like Pancho said, you got a clear head. It sounds like I feel like you will eventually be willing to open up more. Because I mean, it gets a little quiet, man. It gets quiet like once you're not around your everyday activities as far as sports. It gets a little quiet, and when I say that, it's like not having many people around you, not something that's taking your mind off of it. It gets quiet, but it's also noisy, if that makes sense. Now you're in your head thinking about, oh, what should I be doing? I'm not where I want to be. I should have done this. I can't do this now. So I mean, I would definitely, suggest that, be more open to that once you. I mean, because like Ponder says, there's a lot to unfold. Just hearing from what you said, and we just started. It's a lot to
Yeah.
unfold, man. I definitely encourage you, like once you're done, just be more open about it. And it takes time. I mean, everybody's not comfortable with everybody. Like you said,
Yeah.
everybody we're used to being, like you said, the shit and that tough guy or girl, to where you bottle that all up. But I definitely suggest you get a little bit more comfortable. I mean, take your time with it though, but be open to being comfortable with doing that, dude. Because leaving with an empty bottle is I mean, I think it will be beneficial compared to leaving with a full bottle that's about to explode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely understand. And that's why this last year I'm just trying to give all my effort, all my attention, all my energy into my team and
Yeah.
to the university. Because like I definitely take it for granted. I mean, my freshman sophomore year, I definitely took it for granted. I mean, I wasn't really I was serious about track, but I wasn't. I knew I could give more. Um, and then I kind of flipped a little switch, gave a little bit more effort. And I mean it turned out well. So yeah, I'm just trying to leave it all out there, just show this everyone that I care here. And then yeah, it's gonna smack me in the face come June. But um, I mean everyone goes through things like that. I mean I think that being a student athlete has definitely been the greatest part of my life so far. I mean I'm only 22 years old, but I've gotten to travel the country and meet people that I would never have met if
Right.
I didn't sign that letter of intent or if I didn't come to Cincinnati. I mean, I always think about that. Like, man, what if I would have went to a different school? Like, where would I be at? Um, and it's just crazy that like God, he puts it right out in front of you. It's like this is how it's going to go. And then you look back, it's like, what if I would have went somewhere different, or what if things would have been a little different? What if I didn't like try to go to school for track and I wouldn't even be in college right now? Who knows? I'd probably be working somewhere. I would be having a full time job by now, and that's not what I wanted. Um, so yeah, it's definitely gonna smack me in the face, but we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
for
We're
sure.
gonna get there.
you will,
Sure.
bro. You will for sure. And even too, just hitting on that, like at UC, you said being a student athlete, being the best time of your life. Take it all in. I mean, definitely, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to do too much or try to look at the future too much. Live in the moment, bro. Enjoy the
Yeah.
time while you're there. But
Enjoy the
also,
process.
Yeah,
I would recommend, if anything, the resources, all the tools now that they're allowing student athletes to have and expanding more, especially with mental health facilities. Just those kind of alleyways where, I mean, it was only, I mean, I guess you could say 10 or so years ago, we were playing, me and Zach. mental health wasn't a discussion when it comes to student athletes. It was, you're going to do this and you're not going to complain about it, and you're going to do it
Yeah.
again and again and again, and there's no outlet or resource, or even there's no, I don't know, there wasn't anybody to go to or talk to. So I mean, I know with UC and colleges in itself, especially UC too, I know they've been growing their resources when it comes to mental health, and it is a topic of discussion that needs to be had. I mean, we're talking about it now, where it's like you're on this platform and you're getting things off that maybe you talk to your counselor about, or friends touch base on. But like I said, just getting down to the nitty gritty and kind of where you're at and where you're going. I mean, you're on the right track, bro. But like I said, with the resources at hand, keep shaking hands, keep kissing babies, bro. Keep meeting folks, and just keep putting yourself out there,
Yeah,
for
sure.
sure. Because
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to. I feel like it's a whole different time than when y'all were here. That's crazy that you guys didn't have anybody to go talk to. I mean, I feel like 50% of the athletes probably go to sports counseling here now. I really wish
Nah.
y'all had that back in the day. I feel like it would have helped you guys beneficial, like and made y'all better people. I'm glad that the NCAA and all the universities are making sure that we do have that help, because there's a lot of people, like if you look at the population of Division 1 athletes, a lot of people come from nothing. They don't have no one to talk to. They don't have no one
relate to.
to talk about their problems or nothing. They just got the people they're around every day with their coaches, their team. So it's good to have someone to go talk to. Especially, I mean, I got at least 1/4 of my team is from Europe, so like that's a 16-hour flight away. They definitely got to have someone to talk to when things
Yeah,
aren't going right. Um,
for
True.
sure.
so I think it's very important that the schools have that in play for athletes. And yeah, man, I wish y'all had that, because who knows if some of the athletes back then would have had some help or could have talked to somebody. Who knows how big of a difference that would have made.
Right.
No,
Agreed.
you're hitting it right on the head, bro. I mean,
Like, could
it's
y'all have used that back in the day? Like, I guarantee you guys
Oh,
would have
for
went up there
sure.
at least once.
For
10,
sure. For
10,
sure.
10 million%. I mean, a lot of our friends, teammates, and I mean, even a reason being why we started this podcast. He's got the jersey behind him. Zach does. DJ.
Yeah.
A few of our fallen soldiers that have just fallen short, just unfortunately mentally struggles that not able to fully overcome, and it just continues to like festers, continues to grow like a cancer, like when it's not like addressed at an early age, bro. So it's just like, I don't ever want to see that in anybody, let alone, like you even said too, like, you're happy, you're positive, you're uppity around folks, but then like I said, when it's all said and done, like, when you don't got those people to be uppity with, positive with, who are you then? What type of person does it make you into? And
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's it's sad because we've seen not only these who were mentioning, the reason why we call it 81 Reasons Pod, but also another fallen soldier, both earlier this year that happened. Corey Cunningham, he was also a fellow teammate at UC, played offense and played, I think started playing defense and played offense, was on the line, I think a tackle, played for a few different teams in the NFL. Unfortunately, he took his own life at a very young age, bro. And then just, you never know, you see on Instagram these, what I'm saying, these just photos, these things, these depictions that looks like life's good, but behind the screen, behind the mirror, behind like the eyes,
When you're
there.
by yourself, when you're alone.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
bro.
could be on top of the world and be mentally ready to go. I mean, I see that all the time. Like, just being an athlete, like we have so much pressure on performance and all this. Like, it's the mental health is definitely an issue. I mean, if you go to I'm a Ohio State football fan. I like UC football too. But if you go to Ohio State football quarterback Instagram after he loses to Michigan, you read those comments, man. I don't know if I'm mentally
Yeah.
tough enough to go through and have all those people comment that on my post. Like,
Right.
it's just stuff like that. I mean, people don't kind of get it that we're kind of like an influence in the population. People like care about what we do. Um, so like, you definitely got to be careful what you do. And like, even if you don't really do, even if you lose a game, which was not probably up to him. It was a team effort. I mean, the nasty comments. I mean, they're crazy. I mean, I go and just read it on Go Bearcats football page sometimes, and it's crazy. Yeah, so I'm happy that mental health is more talked about now, and I'm happy that people are able to talk to people because, like, the world's a nasty place.
Yeah.
People are always going to hate. I mean, everyone's got haters. Even if you don't do anything wrong, you got haters. So, yeah, it definitely reaches to the point where it's like, all right, I can't take any much more in my head. I gotta like let some of this out. So, I'm definitely glad that we have those, and it's important.
That kind of hits on the coach that recruited me. He left after my first year, Bush Jones. He would I think it
Yeah,
was Brennan K. Munchie Go tell him praise and blame is all the same. I mean, they're gonna praise you when you win. They're gonna blame you, point the finger at you when you lose. And I mean,
yep,
same with kind of what you're talking about there. But like, I don't know, people just they see it on TV. They look at him like a type of character, and they don't really realize that those people are true human beings. Like they have emotions, they have feelings,
That's the
and
big thing.
yeah, for I mean, people to be heartless, ruthless, so negative on the internet. I mean, some people can turn a blind eye to it, but some people, they look it consumes them. It plays a factor into who they are after seeing the type of hate they get. It takes
yeah.
really
Because
strong.
one day it could be love, and then one day it could be hate. Like it's like, all right, they love me today. Oh crap, I had a bad game. Like everyone in the world hates me. Like yeah, I couldn't do it. I don't know how they'd be doing it. That's all props to them for real because ain't no one really care like in the general population how far I throw. But if you throw an interception,
Oh,
whew.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
but
levels to
yeah,
it.
it's definitely something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, and that comes with the position you're in as a quarterback. You're the leader of the team, leader of the offense. You're moving the ball down the field. I
Yeah,
mean, it comes with obviously, yeah. You're going. We can even hit on too as a starting quarterback in college. You get in a bag, and that
yeah,
bag comes with weight to it.
Yeah.
You got to
responsibilities.
carry the bag.
Yeah, no, they're definitely.
So
Yeah, they are getting the bag these days. That's for sure.
and it comes with it, bro. And it comes, like I said, some weight to it, pulling things around like that, and having some that much kind of weight on your shoulders. But pressure builds diamonds. Some of them, come out shining. Some of them kind of they get that bag and they done.
Yeah.
um,
Yep,
but
yep. I
okay,
feel that
cool.
definitely.
So I mean, man, that's a lot to kind of take in, especially kind of growing up and where we are now, college wise. How did you? I guess from high school to college, how did the recruitment process come about? How did you get noticed? I did read on a few things. You were, I think, the second ranked discus thrower in the state at the time, 35th ranked nationally. I
Okay.
think your senior year, which are huge accomplishments. So it's like you that, I mean, that guy. So I mean, not only UC, I mean, it sounds like a great decision you made. What other opportunities did you have? Um, I mean, at at the recruiting point, what other schools were looking at you? Kind of how'd that route go for you?
Yeah, yeah. So the recruiting process for me was very interesting. So I had an older teammate who ended up throwing at Ohio State. So like I kind of had people there the year before me, even like kind of looking at him. They would check me out too a little bit.
Shout out Adam,
Yeah,
man.
I would say
Adam Reed.
shout out Adam, shout out Adam Reedinger. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would
man.
say really like my recruiting process came down to like, all right, like because I remember this conversation so distinctively. Um, it was Coach Stevenson. Shout out Coach Stevenson, one of my greatest
Yep.
mentors. His name's Brian
Good dude.
Stevenson. He's my O
Good dude.
line
Great
throws
dude.
coach in high school. Um, yeah, it came down to the point where it was like my sophomore year, and I'm staying with Tony and Lisa just for a little bit. And I look at it, and I'm like, Coach, so we were practicing because I remember it was raining. We were throwing discus in the high school gym against the net, and I was like, Coach, like I got to figure this out because like this could be my only way to college. And I remember him just like, all right, well, if that's what you're gonna do, it's gonna take some work. So I remember like track is a spring sport in high school. I did basketball in the winter and I did football in the fall. Well, it ended up after that I was going to do track year round. So I was doing 3 sports, 1 year round. Um, I would go to the indoor meets. I would go do a track lift right before basketball practice, doing suicides with my legs like Jello. Um, and then the recruiting process, it was like my junior year. Um, no, it was my senior year actually. Um, I was just like, all right. I mean, I'm not really hearing much. Recruiting for track is way different than football. You're not going to get 50 letters in the mail. It doesn't matter who you are. Um, so I scheduled a tour to schedule. I scheduled a tour of UC's campus because I went down here and visited down here with one of my friends like a year before, and I was like, this is pretty cool. It's in Ohio. It's still a little far away. So I took a school visit, messaged their coach, said, hey, Coach Sheaton, I'm coming to the school today to take a tour of the school. Is there any way we can set up a meeting? At this time, I don't really know if she knew who I was, but after like reaching out, she kind of like put everything together. Like I threw discus far, like I had potential, like I had a big body, kind of still growing into it a little bit. I had like athletic capabilities that haven't been like developed yet. So she ended up. I went on this school visit. I ended up taking two or three unofficial visits after that. I went down for a football game when they played UCLA. We smacked them. So that was like, wow, man, this is college football. Like this is packed out nipper. Like we just beat UCLA. I know who UCLA is. So that was like really cool. And then I remember the next visit I came down. I went to a basketball game and it was like the AAC championship, I think. And we ended up beating Houston at home, and it was nuts in there, man.
Rocking.
So I was like, man, this seems like a good place to be. So I asked Coach, I was like, I really like it here. Like, I'd be interested to come back on my official visit. At the time, like I said, track recruiting's hard. So like I took a school visit to UK, met with their coach. I liked UK. It was just going to be really expensive, and they were the SEC, so I wasn't sure how much money they were going to be able to offer. So I went back on that recruiting visit to UC on my official visit. Went to a football game, stayed the night, and then the next morning, I remember it so like well. One of my assistant coaches, who's also from Springfield, he went to Northeastern. He was like, Korbin, like we think you got a lot of potential, so we're going to offer you this, and this, which equaled out to be about 75%. For track, that's a damn good scholarship coming out of high school.
Right.
Like for track, it's usually you're a walk on, you get partial, or you're on a full. It's like not everyone's on a full, not everyone's a walk on. It's just like, but the men's track team has 12.7 scholarships, I think, to give out. So if you do all that math, that's a pretty decent amount of a scholarship. So I was like, after that meeting, I was so happy. I was like, I don't even need to go anywhere else for real. My parent, Matt and Jen, were like, just thinking about it a little bit. Coach Sheaton, she gave me like a week or two to like let her know what she thought and if I wanted to go there or not. So I was thinking like, do I take any other visits? Is it worth it? I got what I wanted. I got school pretty much covered. My FAFSA should cover the rest. So I made the decision. I called her a week later, and I was like, "Yeah, Coach, like I love UC. Like I love the atmosphere. I love the people. I love the offer you guys were able to give. So I'm gonna be a Bearcat." I remember having like a signing day in the new athletic facility with cookies and people taking pictures and stuff. That was real cool and fun. But yeah, that's how I got to UC. As far as like the other schools, like UK was one that I actually went and visited. It was kind of going to end up being between probably UK and UC, but the offer was given to me right away from UC, and I liked what the offer was. So, and because I remember talking to Matt and Jen before all this, and I was like, listen, like if I don't get any scholarship or if I'm not playing a sport in college, like there's no way I can pay for college. Like I don't got no money.
Right.
And it was kind of like that. All right, so it's going to be you're going to get a scholarship and go to college, or you're going to go work and start your life. So I tried as hard as I could to get that scholarship. And when it was like, all right, you got it, it was like, wow, like that's what I was working for. That's what I asked for. So I'm gonna try to make the best possibilities that I can. And I think I have done okay so far.
Yeah, bro, you've done
Okay.
exceptional. I think
I know you talking about
this past season. Did you was it weight throw? I'd read that you had
So
the AAC championship.
my
Go ahead,
freshman sophomore year, I kind of like I said, I didn't really take it as seriously as I should have. I had a lot of upperclassmen on the team. They were all fifth years. I was the youngest kid. It was like I had another incoming freshman, but he was hurt the whole year, so he didn't practice anything. So it was literally me and a bunch of seniors. So I would say like I got there and I started lifting my butt off. I ended up being able to lift as much as them, like when I was a freshman. So that made me happy. I was like, wow, I'm already like ahead of the game. Like
Yeah, you better than me.
I got some, I got something to do. And then I would say my junior year, where it was like I was in like a tough spot. I was like, I'm not really enjoying this. It feels like a job. Um, and then I just kind of did like some self reflecting, and I'm like to where you were at like 5 years ago to where you're at right now, and you're complaining about all this. So I kind of like just had like a deep little dive inside and kind of pulled it all together. And I worked hard my junior year. That was 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, whatever you can say it. Last year was my senior year, so 2 years ago. And yeah, I worked hard, and I ended up winning my first conference championship, the indoor season, for the weight throw. That's a 35-pound ball that you spin around pretty fast and throw. And that was just like a crazy moment for me because like going into that, I think that meet was the first meet that I ever won. Like I ever
Really?
like in college. I think that's the first meet that I ever was first. And it was like, wow, like all right, I got the taste of winning, and then I didn't want to be on the bottom anymore.
That's a good
So
first
like
meet to win.
discus is my discus is my main event, but the outdoor season is like my real cup of tea. That's
Yeah.
like where I'm supposed to be good at. Discus,
So,
it's like a
so you,
metal frisbee. So I ended up competing, having a really good year. Ended up getting a NCAA first round qualifying mark early in the season. Won the Florida Relays meet. Competed high at a high level with a lot of SEC athletes and Big Ten and Big 12 athletes. And then ended up winning the conference championship outdoor season 2 in the discus. And that year also we won our first men's conference championship as a team in like 20 years. First one in the American Conference. So that was pretty cool to be a part of. I helped us win a conference championship as a school. That's not even me. Like I helped put Cincinnati on the map. Like a school that has given me so much. That was just like a cool experience. Like being one of the top scorers on the team that just won conference. I remember just like looking back and it's like, wow, this is all crazy. It just feels like a dream for real. So yeah,
nah,
I would say junior year
that's
is when I
crazy. That's what's up, bro.
lost a
Congrats
little
to that.
bit, had a good year. And then my senior year, it was our first year in the Big 12. I was still trying to am I good enough to compete at this level? Like these dudes are as good as me, if not better than me. So it was kind of a mental block for me last indoor season. It was kind of just like I kind of got to grow a little bit and realize I'm not always gonna like be a winner. That I have to like be humbled a little bit and lose to like build that back up. So I ended up redshirting the outdoor season last year, so I could have this full fifth year coming up. I graduated last year. That was very exciting for me. First, first one in the family who graduated with a 4-year degree. So
Hey,
that was a big deal.
congrats, man.
I have a
Congrats.
list of
Congrats.
accomplishments in my notebook that I wrote down, and that's on out of all the accomplishments, that's number one. I was able to
That's what's up.
graduate. That's
That's
what I
dope.
went to UC for. I came to get a good job, not to do track the rest of my life. So I was able to get a almost free college degree out of it. So that's pretty cool.
That's what's up. Hey, so I know you kind of left this out, but I think it's something that you should know or at least elaborate on. You got the third best throw in UC history or something like that. And
So yeah, so I do 4 events. I throw shot put, I throw discus, I throw weight throw, and I did throw a hammer. Now it's my last year. I'm just kind of focusing on the main 2, kind of go as far as I can. My main 2. But yeah, in UC history, I'm third in the discus throw, um, third in the weight throw, fourth or fifth in shot put, and then hammer I'm like sixth in UC
that's
history. So all 4 of the events I'm in the top 10, which is pretty cool thing. I don't really think about it much because like I'm here doing it, and it's like but one day looking back, that's going to be something cool. And those records are going to be broken now that we're in the Big 12 and like we're recruiting better. Like all this stuff. Like the kids we're recruiting right now, they would have smoked me in high school. Like,
Hey, but
that's
you,
the
you
thing.
set
But
the
like
bar though.
I've gotten to build like into that and see like UC at its lowest and see UC at its highest. Like, like, I mean, I was there when UC went to the college football playoffs. I was there the next year after when they didn't do so well. I've seen UC at its highest and I've seen UC at its lowest. So
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool honor to be in the top 10 in all of my events. I'm hoping to get number one in at least one of them, though. That's a goal. I got
as
to
it
go.
should be.
Go get it. Go get it.
Definitely make it a possibility for sure. I'm not trying to say I'm gonna go break this record and not break it. That's not. I'm not Noah Lyles or nothing like that.
Nah, hey. I mean, you gotta believe it yourself in order for it to happen. Like, shoot, you were talking about you won your first meet in college, and you kind of got that belief finally. Then you won a few more, and then it started to build that confidence. So, like, if I were to bet some money on the line that you're gonna be number one in one of these little spots, I'm a bet it. Because
I do have a question for y'all though. Like, have y'all ever been at a point in your college career where it's like, all right, I'm on this high right now, and then you get this extreme low of like athletic performance, and it's like, okay, we're going into a better conference with better people, with better competition. How do I get into that mindset where I'm a winner again? That's the thing that indoor season last year, it like crushed me because I fouled out a conference. I hurt my hand, so I was out half the season. I was really performing well. How do you get out that kind of mental slump to be like, all right, I'm a winner. I did this last year. Like, I'm gonna come back and do it better this next year. That's something that I've struggled with, and I still don't know how to overcome because that's something I want to fix before this year.
Marcus, you want to go first? You want to go first?
you got it.
I would say for me, I think it was my junior year. I came off my sophomore year as being one of my best years out of all four. I just felt a step behind. I think the biggest thing for me was the support from my teammates and the belief my teammates had in me. Because there was days I'd be at practice and I'm dog walking, bro. Like I'm just there. You know what I'm saying? Not participating in everything. Like it is what it is. But I think the biggest thing for me was one, the guys in the DB room, and then just my close knit friends that I had on the team. Like they were like, bro, you got to snap out of it. Like this ain't like basically saying this ain't you. You know what I'm saying? And it took them saying that and them having that belief in me to actually get me going. Because now I'm checking myself when I wake up. I'm looking in the mirror like, dang, so and so did say that. You know what? You're right. You're right. He was right. Like, and it was just the fact of my teammates holding me accountable of who I can be that made me want to wake up and hold myself accountable. Like, I got to get back right. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the biggest thing for me is just my support cast. Like, and I say support cast as being my friends. You know what I mean? I think that was the biggest thing is just having that support system and that foundation within the team.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all ever have a time in college where it was like, I need to be humbled? Like, I'm a humble guy, right? But sometimes all of us can get kind of big heads, especially when you're winning, you're on top of the world. Like, I'm him, whatever. But there's a time where I realized, like, okay, I was doing that, but I was working hard. I wasn't a winner at that time. I need to be humbled somehow. Any like advice on that, Coach Foster?
I mean, I think that life is gonna humble you no matter what.
Yeah.
If you think you're too high, you could call it life or you could call it God. I mean, I think in life, I think that if you think you're higher than where you truly have, whether put in the work or think you've put in the work, then that's where you'll be humbled. I mean, if you know what I'm saying, if you know you're working every day, you know you're putting the right things in your body, you know you're doing more than the guy next to me is doing, whether it be my teammate or the guy all the way on the other side of the country. If I know I'm outworking him, that's where like you may take an L, but I mean, you know you put in that work at the end of the day. I think that humbleness factor comes, I don't know, between the ears and also just kind of like observing, studying, seeing what other people are doing. I mean, everybody's got social media now. Those cats in the other conferences or in the same conference, You see what they're doing. You see what they're throwing. You can check the stats. You can look at their records. You can kind of see how those things are going out. So you can kind of target yourself, see where you're at. You can, okay, I may be at a 6th place right now for the furthest throw. I got these spots to work to. Hey, they on my list now.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
I got a target, and they on my list, and I'm gonna knock each and every one of them down. So I mean,
Yeah.
that would be a way if I were in your situation, kind of looking at it, especially with, like you said, from the what was it, AAC to Big 12. I mean, that's a big jump. You're playing way better, way bigger schools with a lot more money. They're paying them kids to come there. And I mean, just as for the competition factor, you're right. It's not going to get any easier. Your record will eventually get broken. That's just what life's all about. We just watched the Olympics. A lot of them records just got broken.
Right.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I don't know, bro. I mean, I would say on that little blank spot in the back right there on the wall, get you a little bulletin board or a little whiteboard, start making you a little list. And
Start making a
it's
list. I will.
attack
I'm gonna put that right here by my desk.
it's attack
Yeah.
mode from here until June.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and that's kind of the mindset that I had when I was like not doing so well. But I definitely caught myself lacking that mindset last year when I kind of thought I had it already. Um, and it like for everyone who's going to be watching, just know like just if you have it doesn't mean it's going to stay with you. You got to consistently put the work in for it to stay with you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's only one reason why LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time is because he's consistently putting the work for
The
25
GOAT.
plus years, however long he'd been playing.
Yeah.
He didn't one day just wake up and be that good and then not put any work in and win a championship. No, he had to put that work in. So I definitely lack that myself sometimes. I feel like all athletes do, especially like when you do really well. It's like, okay, I made it. I won a conference championship, or I just won nationals, whatever. Um, or heck, I even got a D1 scholarship. It's you got it, but you don't have it. You
Yeah.
gotta keep
You
going.
can't
You
get
gotta keep
complacent,
grinding.
man.
Can't
Hey,
get placed, and that's a big lesson that I want everyone to know because I definitely struggle with that. I mean, coming from where I was to where I am now, this is, I mean, for a lot of people, this would be the peak time of their life. This would they'd be on top of the world. They would love it. I mean, I love it. I love it, but I sometimes I like take things for granted. I don't always put in the effort that's needed. And I do lack that. And I think everyone does, and it's something that needs to be talked about because not all athletes are 100% every day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week. I mean, we're just people too. Like we get lazy and don't want to go work out one day.
yeah,
But it's something that we got to do if we want to be. I mean, there's only one champion, so
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you got to put in that work. Uh, and I definitely do lack that sometimes, but this year we're coming for it all. We're coming for
Got
that
to,
this
man.
year
Got to.
for sure.
I mean, I love Kobe, the Mamba mentality, and just like it's kind of when he wins championships or just things like that. Next day, next morning, he's there 5 a.m. Like it just wasn't even a
Yeah,
question to him. It was just a mentality. Like it ain't worrying about the highs or the lows. It's just who he is.
Yeah.
Some people are built like that, but I mean, you gotta give yourself grace too. At least you have clarity to understand kind of where you're
Yeah.
at with the championships, winning and now losing, injuries, experiencing that. It's just like it's my rule number 3 to life. How do you bounce back?
All about the
Um,
bounce back.
yeah.
it's all about the bounce back.
It's all
So
about the bounce back.
if it hits the fan, bro, and I don't know, getting complacent like we're talking about, even it's going in my head right now, the future, and don't get too comfortable.
Hey,
Hey, listen,
get
it's
too
just one.
comfortable.
Don't get
Yeah.
too comfortable, but at least you understand where you're at. You're asking us for
So
some
that's a big
advice.
that's yeah, that's a huge part is understanding where you're lacking. Like a lot of
Yeah,
people don't like I think that's the humbling part for you. Talking about how do you come back. I think that right there is it. Because a lot of people won't see that. They just think it's somebody else's fault. But you like, oh, it's me. I'm tripping. I mean, so I think that's the
Yeah,
biggest part right there. And I think that's how you bounce back is first realizing that you are getting the big head and getting ahead of yourself and lacking and getting complacent. I think that's the biggest thing is that you actually realize and recognize it. So I think you'll be good, man. Just from recognizing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing that I try not to do is blame other people. I mean, it's not my coach's fault that I didn't put 100% into
Right.
practice. It ain't my coach's fault that I didn't lift as heavy as I could. It's not my coach's fault that I want to go hang out with my friends on the weekend and do whatever. Or if I want to go at the bar, it's not my coach's fault. It's my fault. So, so yeah, I definitely take all my actions like I did them. Like I've never been the blaming guy. I don't really. I used to be in high school. I used to blame everything on like everyone else and God and why is God doing this? Blah blah blah. Like why me? All that. So I definitely think I've gotten over. I know all my righteous. So
We did cut out a little bit there. At least on my end it did. But
Yeah, same.
okay. But no, bro. I mean, good. Well, I mean, we hit on that. Being, I guess, sports now, how college is going. Let's talk a little bit about NIL. I mean, how that is, especially with the playing field now.
Yeah. So I'm
Um,
clueless
I
and I'm
mean,
upset. Nah.
yeah. I mean, definitely
I
Nah.
don't
swinging
know
the
if y'all gonna
fences.
be too happy about talking about this. I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
gonna
Nah,
be
nah.
happy. Y'all football
It's
players. Y'all
crazy.
would have been rich. Y'all would have been rich.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I was literally at practice today and I was talking to a kid and we were talking about NILs. And he was like, Coach, you
Yeah.
mad? I said, I'm not mad. I said, it's well deserved. I mean, the amount of money that people make off of athletes that weren't at our time making money. I said, I'm happy. I said, I'm just mad the fact that it came a little bit later.
Missed the boat.
Not that it,
You
yeah,
didn't get your
I
opportunity.
missed it. That's what
Missed
I'm
the
mad
boat.
about. I'm mad I missed
No,
it. Not the fact that it's a
NIL.
thing.
Yeah, no, NIL is definitely a crazy change of an events in college athletics. I mean, this lady from Kansas University reached out to me 2 weeks ago. She was doing like a big study on NIL, and she asked me to do like an hour interview, like on Zoom. So I did it. Like, why not? She gave me a $40 Amazon gift card. I bought a shelf and a poster for my wall. So like, hey, that's
Hey,
just a form of inside NIL. Like, hey, before then you would have been on that Zoom call, like nothing
For free.
rewarded. NIL is crazy. There's people that are making more money than a lot of people will see in their lives. But there's also the bottom guys who will swim or on the track team or playing tennis. Ain't nobody want to sign them guys. NIL is it's a very good thing, and I understand why. The college football players are getting more. The basketball players are signing $1 million deals for 1 year. Like those are the sports people watch. Those are the sports people criticize. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. The quarterback, he gets a lot of hate, but he's getting paid a bag now to deal with that. That's kind of like okay, you got to deal with all this stuff. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. I'm gonna make sure that you ain't got to worry about money because I mean you already got a lot to worry about. You got 200,000 people following our Instagram account that could hate on you at any time. So NIL is definitely a thing. Like you gotta, I don't know. It's weird not being in athletics like without it. It was my freshman year. It was the only year that we didn't have NIL, and it came like later in my freshman year. So like started sophomore year. And I remember signing my first NIL deal. I thought it was so cool. I was like, yeah, like let's go. And it ended up being like a Corrido. It's a restaurant on campus. It's owned by Thunderdome Restaurants. It's like a Chipotle. It's like a healthier Chipotle. And then my deal was, all right, you're gonna get $25 on the app every week. Just post once a month on your story that you're eating here. And I was like, bet. That's 2 free meals a week. Like
man, what?
I'm lit. Like I'm lit.
She said, "What if I
So later
post
on
more
down
than
the
once a
road,
month?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was
I
like, can I
post
post
it
3 times a
every
week?
day."
Like, nah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's it has a lot to do with social media. Social media plays a big influence on it. But there's a difference between NIL and college collectives, though. You guys got to understand that. Everyone watching, you guys don't really know much about NIL. There's not a lot of information on it. NIL is name, image, and likeness. That's when an athlete and a brand come to an agreement where the athlete's going to market for that brand using their name, image, and likeness. So, say someone starting up a company, say you're a vintage company, say, hey, Korbin, like I'll give you this shirt if you post this main feed on your Instagram So what's in it for me? I get a free shirt. What's in it for you? You get 7,000 people to look at it, right? And
Yeah.
maybe go and shop your company. That's NIL, and that's what it was meant to be. What it's turned out to be, though, is the collectives. So our collective at Cincinnati is called Cincy Reigns. Every school has an NIL collective. That's where you're getting the pay to play. That's where. So it's not really NIL when you put it that way. I mean, kids fresh out of high school, never seen the field in college, are signing $1 million, like just to come to the school from the collectives. Like, we are offering you $1 million to come to school. Not talking to any brands, not reaching out on your own to try to get those deals, not doing any of that. They'll simply just hand you $1 million and sign the dotted lines to come play for me. So that's the difference, and that's what people don't understand the difference. And everyone always hates on NIL because of that. But like someone like me, who's not a quarterback or a wide receiver or going to go to the NFL in the first round, who doesn't have hundreds of thousands of followers coming out of high school because he's that guy, it's a really good thing because I can make a little bit of extra cash from self marketing myself, and I think it has taught me like a lot of skills, like of just self branding, self marketing, selling. I have to sell myself to people. So I've been able to get a few good deals out of NIL. Nothing like those collective deals though. I would say I've been lucky enough to work with some big companies around Cincinnati. Alta Fiber is one of them. It's a Wi-Fi company. It used to be called Cincinnati Bell back in the day. It changed to Alta Fiber. MedPace is a medical research company. I'm about to re-sign with them in the fall. And then that Corrido one I still got. I love that Corrido
you
deal.
gotta
That's
keep
probably my
that.
favorite.
Them
Because if
free
you add up all
meals.
that money over the years, that's probably a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. It's been 3 years, so $25 a week for 3 years. I'm not doing the math, but that's a lot of money.
Hey,
Yeah.
For
you
one
definitely
person.
getting two of them meals a week. You ain't missing out on that.
No, I ain't missing it. Unless I'm out of
Yeah.
town, I ain't missing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to make some money and kind of just like, I mean, we are athletes. We're held to the highest standards. We gotta wear the fashion statements. We gotta be on top of things. We can't look like we can't go to class looking like wearing some random clothes. We gotta go to class just in case someone recognizes us and like, oh, that's Korbin. Why is he wearing this, and this? Like, it just helps out. Like, it's just money to like kind of help us like fit our standard and fit our need. Because like my athletic scholarship, what we do is Austin at UC, $2,000 every 4 months. That's the money that I get to spend at UC, and that ain't enough to live. I mean, I could spend $2,000 in a week.
You said
Uh,
every 4
it,
months?
4 months. So it's 3 times a year. It's $6,000 total, and that's it just got changed. Everybody on scholarship now receives 2,000 the 2,000 3 times. Um, so yeah, that's all the money that the school's giving out to these guys that aren't the football players in the basketball school. So I think it's good that we can go out there and kind of make our own money because we're not allowed. We don't have time to work. We don't got time to
Right.
go work 20, 40 hours a week. Like I got 40 hours of I got 20 hours of practice plus other stuff, like
Yeah.
or plus a full class schedule.
School.
So if it's easy enough for me to go meet with a marketing manager at Alta Fiber and say, hey, like I've worked hard to be where I'm at. I've grinded on the track. Like I've been doing well on social media. Like I want to work. Like I want to work for you. I want to work with you. Um, Let me market your company for you. And I've been able to do some crazy stuff. I've gotten to go tour a bunch of restaurants around Cincinnati, eat for free, star in a video of them making some food, me making the plate. So I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff, and it definitely has helped me out through the years. Try to just having money to spend and having money to do stuff with. I mean, because if not, like I'd have to rely on my summer job or that money that they give us during the year, which is it. I'm appreciative for it, but like
No.
it ain't
Sound
enough to
fun.
live. So
No.
so yeah, NIL is definitely a good thing. It's where the NIL and the collectives get mixed up because the outside population doesn't really know much about it. They just kind of assume that we're all getting rich off of NIL, which is not the case. I
Yeah.
would say about probably 5% of college athletes are making like not even 5%. I would say 4% of all college athletes are probably making damn good money, and then the rest of us are kind of just getting these small deals like to help us out get by. So it's definitely not what people think it is. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, as for
Athletes, I got to put myself out like that.
you cutting out a little bit the last probably 15, 20 seconds. We'll clip that out. But as for
Yeah, you just cut out. But yeah,
no, so did you. But we'll clip that out. We'll bounce back here. But as for like I mean NIL and kind of what it is now and what it is kind of you're making and X amount of dollars, I ain't gonna lie, 10 years ago, y'all wouldn't have lasted. Hey,
No.
y'all would have had them ribs touching at night when you can only warm up some ramen in the microwave.
You better hit the calf before they close, and you better
Listen,
eat multiple
hey,
meals.
I mean, I'm glad to see the
yeah,
athletes
and
being
honestly,
taken care of now, especially all they do, all they encounter, all the things that they put toward the school. I'm glad to see the school finally rewarding them.
Absolutely.
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and people just got to understand that, like, um, it's a good thing. It really is, and you really don't understand it until you're a college athlete. So you got these people out there that NIL's bad, NIL's bad. Have you ever been a Division I college athlete? Have you ever been on a full class schedule and then had full amount of practice, 20 hours of practice a week, and then travel all weekend? Like, you got to give me you got to give me something. Like, I got to get
Yeah.
something. Like, I ain't got
Something.
no free time. I ain't got no way to make money. I got to do something. These
Right.
other normal students that aren't in these sports, they got time to work. I mean, I'm able to do 20 hours of practice a week with a full class schedule. They're able to go work 20 to 40 hours a week just around their class schedule. So I mean, it's kind of, when you look at it, it's like just us working. I mean, we're already working on our sports, our job, and we're just getting a little payment for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I studied sports administration, so like
Yeah,
hand players was something we always talked about, kind of just
yeah,
going on and on about it, and the sports administrative department. I mean, to see where it is now, especially they're like, oh, they're getting a scholarship and this and that, and I'm like a free scholarship or partial at that. I mean, but it's more than that. I mean, it's definitely like we were
yeah,
talking about. There's just days where you just, I mean, if your mom and dad don't got it, then there ain't nowhere else to go. So I
yeah,
mean, and for I mean the it's kind of you got to do your own work. You gotta build your social platform. I mean, I would probably say if you don't got a social media and you're a college athlete, you're missing out on some
you're missing out for sure,
knowledge.
definitely. And that's the just the change in the generation of these days. I mean, everything's social media. When you think about marketing, uh, all their companies are switching to social media marketing, and I think it was like the perfect time for NIL to come out because that's what companies are doing nowadays. So like, not only do the athletes love it, but those companies, they gotta love those people marketing their stuff for them. I mean, that's
Oh, for
free
sure.
money. I mean,
It's crazy.
I mean, if you were in high school and you saw whoever your favorite player was in college, whoever what team you were, if he had a shirt on, I would probably get that shirt because I like that player. He liked that shirt. I'm gonna like that shirt. Um, so
Yeah.
like it just really makes sense. I mean, and it teaches you a lot about like the business world, really. Like for me, one of the biggest benefits on NIL has just been like meeting people. Like I met the CEO and the chair of like I met all the higher ups at Alta Fiber. That's a big company. Like
Yeah.
I've met people that it will make it so easy for me to get a job after school because I have met these people. I have put my name out there. I have shown face to face like what I can do, like hard my work. So I just think not even for the money thing. I just think it's such a like a good thing just to build your brand, to build your platform, um, and to build your like social skills and all that stuff. Like you got to sell yourself. I mean, you're gonna have to sell yourself in an interview one day. Why not
Yeah.
get a couple practices in college?
Yeah.
Um, so I just look at it as positive. I mean, I know people get jealous and all that stuff, and all the outside people looking in like, well, I don't deserve that money. Like, yeah, you do. You kind of don't understand what we go through on a daily basis.
But also
Some
at
of the
the end of,
sports aren't.
at the end of the day, bro, that ain't for you. And the person that
Yeah,
is talking about you negatively, it's like we kind of talked about earlier. You can either entertain it or it can just go in one ear out the other. And then you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
it can be something that doesn't influence what it is that you've got going? Because a lot of people, no matter where you're at, you're gonna have hate, you're gonna have negativity, especially when you start to grow and there's levels to it, and you start to get a higher level. You're gonna have those people trying to pull you down. So, I mean,
Definitely.
that's just part of life, and with the NIL, it ain't going nowhere. So, I mean, I'm glad. Yeah, you're in a very special, lucrative time where you committed to the school, you got in halfway through your freshman year, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, NILs, they dropping bags now. We about to get paid. Hey, I don't know what I would have
I'm
done.
not even gonna lie. Just the $25 at Corrito ought have been good. Like what?
Yeah.
So you tell me I can go eat here
Yeah.
twice a week
Yep.
for the free?
Yep.
Oh,
Twice a week. Twice a week for free. Yep. Just
I'm
scan the app.
good.
I'm posting it
Yeah,
twice
no,
a week
man,
too.
it's been great. I mean, I like I said, I don't really know what it's like before, but I really do not feel bad because they were still Division 1 athletes. They got to live
Yeah.
out that dream. They knew what they were jealous. Like I was like an old athlete, but yeah, nah, it's a good thing for sure.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Um, well, I mean, we can kind of start to wind things down. I do know with you being a senior, I think you had mentioned when we were talking before, is it organizational leadership that you're
Yeah,
currently in? Um,
yeah.
what's
I graduated with organizational leadership. Yeah.
okay? What is it you're doing? Grad school or getting your master's in?
So I'm doing an internship this first semester, internship class, and then the second semester I'm gonna take real estate classes to try to get my real estate license. My major focus was organizational leadership, but I did it more in kind of a directed towards construction management route. Um, so my focus was in construction management. That's what all my internships have been. That's what all my experience has been. So I eventually probably want to do some construction management with some real estate on the side. But I'm excited. I got a job shadow Friday for NetJet, which is a like a private jet charter company. So I'm job
Nice.
shadowing one of the sales managers there Friday. So if I can get in and do that, then I would probably take that job out of school too.
That's
Yeah,
what's
go
up.
get it. Go get it.
Yeah.
Hey, if the offer's there, I'm gonna put in the work to go get that. I want that.
Nah, for
Yeah.
sure. You know how to work, bro. I mean, clearly to this point now, you got third. You know what I'm saying? Top three, top
You
four
wouldn't be where
rankings.
you're at right now if you didn't know how to work.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
so other than I guess you could say this next year coming up, hitting that top spot, getting them you know what I'm saying, records knocked off for UC until the next man comes up and tackling this Big 12 conference. What else I guess you could say with the end, I guess you could say the end is near. College coming to an end. What's future kind of plans look like for you? Um I know you don't know now, but what's the direction you want to go? You want to stay around Cincy? You built a nice network thus far. I mean, career wise, you kind of mentioned with construction management and real estate, that route, how you want to take it. Who knows? There's a lot of opportunities with that. But
Yeah,
what's the future for you? What is your vision? What is your goals? What do you see yourself um after things are all said and done with the sports?
yeah. So here recently, I've had to think about the future a lot more than I want to. So I've been just, I don't know. Then you sit back and it's like, what do I want to do the rest of my life? I got to figure it out in a year. Um, your mind's blank. I mean, ain't nothing came to my mind. So for me, it's just gonna be like I said earlier. I like being with people. I like talking with people. I like helping people. I like interacting with people. So if I can work with people and just work around a good team, I think that would be a good job for me. But as far as like area wise, I love Cincinnati. I'll probably end up being here a year or two after school, just because of jobs and stuff like that. Maybe probably easier to get a job here right away because of the connections I've made. But eventually, I want to move away from Ohio and Cincinnati. I feel like I'll never probably move back to my hometown. I have a lot of past and history and just grief there. Every time I go back, I kind of get my mind fogs up and kind of brings me back. So I like to stay away from Springfield. I go back and visit and go home for the holidays and go visit the family and all that stuff. But I don't see myself moving back home at all.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't recommend. I mean, we had
for
our
jobs all around the country. I think right after school, and I'm gonna see where I'm at. Best job presents itself.
okay,
So
yeah. Well, I was we had our last guest. He had mentioned kind of after college he had moved down to Dallas, spread his wings a little bit, and we were just talking about how I mean, really moving back home. Not to say it doesn't do anything for you, but you're not elevating yourself. You're not putting yourself around individuals that are wanting to keep growing. So I mean, with you already saying what it is you want to do, not wanting to move back home, maybe stick around Cincy, use your network that you've built up thus far. Who knows? You may stay there for a little bit longer than you think. You may move sooner than you imagine based on new opportunities that come your way. Um,
yeah,
with
I'm definitely open for anything for the future. I mean, my main focus is this year. I want to make it to nationals. I want to be top 12 in the country, um, top 15 in the country. I want to place top three at the Big 12 championship. So those are my goals right now. I'm doing this job shadow. I'm trying to already like kind of plan out the future, trying to get some interviews in, get some real world work days in a work setting. Like that's what I'm doing Friday. I'm just going to check it out, like see if it'd be something I like. So that's kind of something big for me because I got to check it out. Like for me, I got to actually sit there and like, all right, would I actually enjoy doing this? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna work a job I don't like. Like I ain't gonna hate my life.
yeah,
Like I feel like I have built a network and hard to be where I'm at right now. So I feel like I'm not gonna just take like a like a job that I'm not happy with and a job that I feel like is good for me because I know like what I'm worth and I've gone through those mental like conversations with myself and just working just to work is not something I want to do. I want to do something that I enjoy, and I want to be around people, inspire people, and hopefully that's a good enough career to live the life I want to live.
Yeah.
yeah,
I would real quick. My piece of advice is it keeps going back in my head, like you said. And then I don't know. I don't even know if you meant to say it, but you were talking about how like when he asked you about the next steps, he's like, "Yeah, I got a year to figure that out." Dude, you don't have a year. You have more time than that, man. Take
yeah,
your time with figuring it out. I mean, I would just say have a general direction of what you want to move, but don't rush. Like you said, you don't want a job that you will be miserable at. Don't rush it. Um, Make sure you actually take your time with figuring out what you want to do. But the main thing is focusing on this year, man. Be where
yeah.
your feet are, man.
Yeah,
Be present, honestly, and go achieve those goals that you're setting for yourself. Definitely for this season, man. It's definitely attainable. If it wasn't attainable, you wouldn't be thinking about it, man. That's just my little piece of advice.
No, that's
no,
good.
definitely.
That's
I'm
good.
definitely take y'all's encouragement. I mean, I actually got some questions, got some good advice from you guys. So I think both sides got some out of this, and I'm excited for the future. I'm hoping good things for the future. But yeah, like I said, I'm focused on this year. I'm trying to take it one day at a time. I
That's
like
it.
every like program, every recovery program is what take it one day at a time. So I'm trying to make today the best day, and then I'm gonna work on tomorrow when it gets here. Um, but yeah, my focus is all locked in for this year. I'm still trying to like plan for the future a little bit, but I'm definitely in the present right now.
Yes,
I
sir.
got one more year to enjoy it. And I'm no longer going to be a college athlete, so we're gonna have some we're gonna have some problems in the future with probably mental stuff, and I'm gonna go get some counseling because it's good for you. Um,
Yeah, and you can
but
always
yeah,
reach out to us
I'm
too,
in the
man.
present. I'm ready
You
for
got
this
my
year, and
number.
I'm ready for the next year. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'll definitely hit y'all up. Um,
Yeah.
next time
Believe
I'm
it,
back in
bro.
town, we can. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll be getting together here soon with the football season coming up. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um,
yeah,
but
definitely. Yeah,
yeah, bro, we can go ahead and wrap things up, man. I mean, your story is incredible, bro, for real, just from where you started to where you are now. I mean, the story's not over either. I mean, there's so
Nah,
much more in store for you, bro. I mean, clearly from all the things, obstacles you've had to overcome thus far to where you are now.
yeah,
I mean, I think this year is going to be the best one yet for you track wise. Discus throwing, hammer or hammer weight, whatever it is. But like with everything that you've encountered, everything that you've seen, even your willingness to share your story, bro. So I appreciate you coming on, kind of being open to everything that you've encountered, and for us to kind of pick at certain things and kind of see where you're at mentally, to even you understanding where you are mentally. Like, I mean, we all need, it's like working out. Like, we all need to
Yeah.
go to the gym. We all need to work on our mental. We all need to spiritually, you know what I'm saying, commit when it comes to with God, and just a lot of different
Yeah.
facets to what it is people go through. So, I mean, where you're at and everything that you just kind of told us and told the people, I'm excited. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to this next year, and the future for you to come. So,
Yeah.
Corbin,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
appreciate that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's been a pleasure for real. I mean, I love just like talking. I could talk forever. So like, yeah, thank y'all for having me on. It was definitely a good time. It was nice to meet you, Zach, for real.
You as well, brother,
We're
for
definitely
sure.
going. We're definitely going to see each other soon. I know Coach Foster coming to the games. I know he'll bring you with him. So, yeah, I'm gonna see you guys. But y'all definitely need to like and subscribe and share this, because let's grow this thing, and let's get this thing going, and let's get y'all some 100K viewers sometime.
Yeah, yes, sir, for sure.
Hey, I will tell you the coolest thing that I've ever done, though, I think to this day, was be on the New Heights podcast. That was probably
Oh yeah, them
the
dudes.
peak,
Yeah,
the peak of my that was like the peak of my wow. Like, I'm here like a little bit, and that's kind of like where that. But yeah, that was a really cool experience, and that was something that I'll tell my kids one day.
yeah,
yeah, bro. Hey, actually, let's talk about that. Honestly, me and Zach were sitting next to each other, watching the whole thing the whole time. Um,
Yeah,
and I was pointing him out. I'm like, yeah, that's my boy Core, man. He down there. I'm glad
yeah,
to see you're one of the people selected. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, how'd that go? It looked like a great time. I mean,
yeah, man.
obviously the people watching it had a great experience, but for you to actually be physically in the show, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. Man, it was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, uh, I remember when my coach, because they left it up to the coaches to decide who they wanted, one boy, one girl, from each team. So my coach ended up selecting me, which I give thanks to her for that, Coach Sheen. She's a great woman. But yeah, she selected me and one of my other teammates. I didn't really know much. They didn't really tell us much. They told us we were going to be doing some game, and they didn't tell us what game we were doing until right before it started. I remember we were doing like interviews backstage. Like, it was an actual like team that, like, it was pretty cool. Like, and just meeting Jason and Travis, like, which are like, if I could have like a sports idol, it'd probably be Travis Kelsey. Um, he's just been through a lot. I mean, he had a low time in his college career, and then he's a future Hall of Famer, probably the best tight end of all time. Going to be. So like, it was cool to meet him, like, just be in a space with them, talking to them, took pictures with them, got to meet the whole team, production crew. And it was cool. I mean, I that's the first time, because ain't nobody go to the track meets. That's the first time I looked up in the stands and literally saw a sold out crowd like all around me, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, um, but yeah, it was really cool. I was definitely nervous because I didn't know any of the songs they was playing on that trumpet.
yeah,
But yeah, they didn't tell
that
us
was
what games
tough.
we were playing until, so they kind of threw fire. Yeah, they threw fire.
Sure.
Well, yeah, man. Well, again, I appreciate you coming on, Corb. We'll go ahead and finalize this, wrap this up. So, I mean, if y'all made it to the end here, we appreciate you. I know technicalities, we're still working on things. Obviously, connection issues a little bit. We'll figure things out. Corbin, call Alta Fiber, tell them you need to upgrade that connection. No, I'm just playing. But as for I mean, winding down and wrapping things up, man, we'll go ahead and close things out. We had Korbin Spencer on here, shared a story, told an incredible one at that, and I'm excited to if you haven't, he has the Instagram handle there, give him a follow, show some love, give him some support for the senior year to come. Um, but yeah, as for
Especially
myself,
if you're a Bearcat, man. Go show some love.
Fellow Bearcats, man, got to stick
Especially if you're a
together.
Bearcat. Go like and subscribe and share. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
let's build this community, man. Maybe
Clifton,
a couple
hey,
other
ain't
folks.
nobody know if they ain't been in Clifton before.
That's
Yeah.
it.
What do they say?
So I mean,
Clifton nasty, Clifton strong.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're even a first of a current athlete. Someone I'm glad we wanted to touch on NIL a little bit, how that all kind of worked with the kind of the collective side of things, how that works too. So I appreciate your insight, your kind of knowledge, and I mean you're still learning in itself, but continuing to grow, bro. This last year, get to that biggest bag you can. But yeah, thanks again for coming on. We'll go ahead and get out of here, man. My boy Zach, myself, Marcus, my dog Korb. We're going to go ahead and sign out of here. So thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate
Show you that I care.